Hey guys, Hold here. Welcome to another episode of the Who Are We podcast. Today I got a special guest, Kochi. How are you going?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for being here. Before we get started, I'll just do a bit of a disclaimer. We're recording this session and we're going to publish it on YouTube and maybe put some links or some promotional stuff on LinkedIn.
Excellent.
Idea being just trying to get more people aware of this and get more people viewing it and hopefully spreading some positive messages and helping people become the best they can be. So we'll just get straight into it. Who is
Absolutely.
Kuchi and what does he stand for?
All right. So, hi everybody. My name is Kuchi. It's a big pleasure to be a part of your podcast. Who are we, Trevor? Thanks for having me. I'm an holistic health coach. That's what I do now. In the past, I've done way different jobs, but I'm the founder of Balanced Rebel. It's an online health coaching company that helps individuals to reclaim control of their life. We're not just the typical health coaching company because most people are focused on fitness or nutrition. No, we're focusing on getting control of your lives, understanding that energy is the currency of life. What When we wake up every day in the morning, we need to have energy to be able to do everything we want, to be able to sustain our performance, to be able to manage our thoughts, the quality of our thoughts, stress, our nutrition choices, the way we move, the way we sleep, the way we relation with other people, and for that we need energy. And how do we get our energy from? From these ordinary habits that we keep repeating every day, and we sometimes forget that these are the core of our life. So our approach to health coaching is how we can transform your ordinary habits into an extraordinary life, because these habits are the ones that sustain our energy. Our expertise in stress management, burnout, fatigue, and recovery and sleep. But we do everything, and we've been helping people around the world. We have customers spread all over the place, from Canada to US, Portugal, UK, Spain, Italy, Egypt, UAE, Saudi, Kuwait, Bahrain, you name it. And we've been very successful. In 2021, we won the Leadership in Health Coaching Award by the largest nutrition school. In 2022, I was nominated one of the top five coaches to look at. And last week, I won the Holistic Health Coach of the Year worldwide. So I'm very happy on that. And basically, it's about helping people. Before, on my previous life, I don't have a fitness background. I'm not a nutritionist, even though I'm a certified health coach, but I come from the corporate life. I understand. I used to put satellites in space. I was a high level executive of one of the top satellites industries in the world, and I understand what is stress better than anyone. What's spending a life in planes, hotels, on the run, poor food choices, long meeting hours, KPIs, results, deliverables. So what we did was merging the both components of the health and the holistic part of it, understanding that we're not physical, we are emotional, we are mental, we are existential, we are uh, environmental, and everything is interconnected and everything affects all the other dimensions. And on top of that, bringing the expertise of how am I going to manage my individual performance versus managing the performance I have to deliver every day outside in the world. And that's how we built Balanced Rebel. Balanced Rebel stands for the principle that we're rebelling against our own belief system that we're too old, that we can't, that our best days are gone. No, this is the way, or there's no other way, right? But in a balanced way, because we do believe, and I do believe, and that's one of the core principles of my company, is there's time and space for everything. There's time to drink alcohol. There's time to drink water. There's time to eat smart. We don't use the word healthy, by the way. I think it's overused and abused. There's time to eat smart. There's time to have fun with friends. There's time to eat junk food. There's time and space to manage your life in a balanced way. So that's the term of balanced rebel came as rebelling the belief against the belief systems, but on a balanced way, understanding that a happy life or a joyful life is having a little bit of everything and not a lot of something. And that's it. That's basically it.
So, it sounds to me, obviously, yeah. Thanks for sharing that, and you're bringing so much excitement and passion in your words,
Thanks.
and obviously covered quite a lot in that short space of time. So I just want to try and break it down a little bit. So basically, I heard you say the words ordinary habits, everyday habits, and everyday basic routines that people get, and turning them habits into extraordinary lives, in a holistic approach. And you talk about having a time and space for everything, and not using traditional words that people use, like eat healthy. You're using eat smart, and having a time and place to, for everything. Um, I also heard there was a life before you become coach, holistic health
Yeah.
coach, in different industries, which give you some sort of insight to now. How do you think that transition went from managing, trying to manage yourself in that sort of environment, to trying to help
Right.
other people? How did that come about, do you think?
All right. So, first of all, I realized that I've been coaching myself for the
Yeah.
last 46 years, right? So when even though my company has 2 years of existence, I actually been doing it for 40 years, right? But I was doing it to myself without knowing it. So when COVID came, I can tell a little bit of the story. So when COVID came, we've been giving something that we all asked for, but no one actually paid attention to. We've been giving the gift of time. We always complain that we don't have time to go to the gym, we don't have time to cook, we don't have time to spend with the family, we don't have time to do anything. And COVID was a gift of time. We had a lot of time, too much time. We didn't know what to do with the time. So I, lucky or unlucky, I think it was lucky for me, I was stranded in Portugal. I'm originally Portuguese, but I don't live in Portugal. So I was transiting to visit my mother, and I had a luggage of 1 week, and I went to see my mother, and the world shuts down, and here I am stuck in my mother's place with the luggage of a week, and I end up staying 3 months and a half. At that time, the world stopped, and most of my friends that are also expats, and they have their vacation homes in Portugal, and they're all empty because they're all stranded around each country they were. So I had a lot of vacation houses to use. I can jump around. And during one of the process, I decided to do emotional reprogramming. So I isolated myself from the world, and I went to Algarve. It's the south of Portugal. No internet, no friends, no anything. And I decided to rewrite my new software. Even the iPhones need an upgrade, right? So we also need an upgrade. And I looked at myself, said, well, look, I'm at that time I was 43, 42, 43. And I said, look, I reach this age, I live 50% of my life, if you consider life expectancy at 80. How do I want to live my life moving forward? And among one of those things was, I don't want to live in a big city anymore. I used to live in Dubai. Uh, I don't want to live in a big city anymore. It was fun, loved it, tick all the box, been there, done that. Moving forward, I want to do something different. That means that for doing that, I had to change a little bit what I was doing, right? Because satellite industry are based in big cities. So that means New York, London, Paris, Sao Paulo, Dubai, or Singapore, which are the major hubs, right? And I didn't envision myself in one of these cities. And as a conversation with a friend of mine, I was still doubting, should I go back to corporate? Should I don't know what I was gonna do in my life? And then my friend said, "Look, why don't you? You're 43 or whatever I was, and you're looking great for your age. You're aging very strong. You're aging in the great direction. You have a very high demanding job. You travel around the world. Every 2 weeks I was on a plane, all with bad food choices, high levels of stress. I was delivering multi-million dollars contracts. She said, why don't you help people to age stronger? Why don't you help people to understand how did you reach there? And I was like, who wants to hear me? And then you have 100, and on that Instagram account, I had around 80,000 people. You have 80,000 followers on your account trying to understand how do you live? Why do you think people will not be interested? Anyway, that planted the seeds. And then I came and I said, okay, let me navigate around the internet and see what I can do with this. And I came to the term with health coaching. I think, oh, I can see myself doing this. I'm already doing this. I'm already doing intermittent fasting. I'm already being a paleo. I already work out. I already take care of my sleep. So there's nothing more new other than getting the certification. And then I call that nutrition school, which is IIN, the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, the largest nutrition school in the world. And the lady told me, look, if you don't sign up today, you have to wait 6 months. And I thought, okay, this cannot be a coincidence. So I signed up immediately. And I said, I'm gonna give it a try. If I don't like it, the worst can happen. I give up and they refund me the money. And 2 weeks after being in the course, I said, Halas. Halas means enough in Arabic. And I said, Halas, it's enough. I'm gonna do this for a living. That moment, I switched. And I said, no more corporate world, no more anything. I'm gonna commit to my studies. I'm gonna excel on this, and I'm gonna start a company. And that's how Balanced Travel started, basically.
Wow,
So
that's a
that's how it
it's pretty
came.
story. Yeah, yeah. So, but balance rebel is a name of is a registered name that you decided to trade under.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Your
The
balance rebel
name,
sound,
the name.
yeah, it seems a bit
Yeah. So
rebellious.
yeah, it was exactly because of that you're rebelling against. So when I start coaching, and I in the beginning I didn't have a name, right?
Yeah,
And the some of the people I was coaching, I had customers, Trevor, from the moment I said to my close circle of friends, I'm gonna be an health coach. I had customers because my friends already knew my lifestyle. So they said, "Oh no, we want to work out. We want to work with you. We want to learn with you because now you're gonna take this serious. If until now you're already like making this as a lifestyle, now you're gonna elevate the game, and we want to be on that." And the situation, and when you need volunteers in the beginning, some of my
yeah, yeah.
friends, I said, one of my friends, like, "Look, I'm gonna coach you." And she said, but I don't want. And I said, no, I'm going to coach you. And the things went so well that she actually came up with the name because we actually rebelling against all the belief system that you work with your inner self voice, you work with your own self doubts, you with your own limitations, with your own roadblocks. But I don't believe in restrictions. I don't believe that anyone should be restricted. There's a reason why people go to jail is to be restricted, and restriction is a way of you learning manners, right? That doesn't work, right? When you learn how to have a balanced life and you know that you can eat whatever you want as long as you are in control of your food choices, as long as you understand the relationship you're having with the food, and what is the real function of the food is not to eat. We don't eat our emotions. That's not the function of the food. It's not to make us happy. It's not us to fulfill. It's not to be a reward system. No, the function of the food is to provide us with energy. Now with evolution, we give them the emotional and the social aspects of it. That's fine. And there's time and space for everything. Now, when you just put everything on emotional and social, most probably your food choices are going to be very bad.
Yeah.
But when you put the things from an energetic point of view and you understand, oh, damn, I already had ate too many pizzas in my week. If I want to be on a weight loss journey, this is not compatible. So
Yeah.
you have the power of choosing, which is our superpower, the power of choosing what works for us. So what we do at Balanced Rebel is helping people to understand the relationship they have with these ordinary habits. Why do you eat? Why do you sleep? Why do you have joy? Why do you think you have to work out your body? People think that they need to go to the gym to lose weight. That's bullshit. People, they should go to the gym to manage stress, lower anxiety, improve sleep, manage appetite. These are the real reasons why you should move your body, not to lose weight. You want to lose weight? go on a calorie deficit. Very easy. Not the gym is just a little part of it. Anyone that thinks that gym is going to make you lose weight is on the wrong journey,
Yeah.
because they're putting the eggs on the wrong basket. So what we do on that, in the sense, was my friend at that name and said, "Oh, by the way, your company should be called Balanced Rebel." And I said, "Well, I like the name so much." I said, "Oh, I'm gonna take it."
Yeah,
Because
and that,
she
yeah,
understood the things.
it's amazing that you say that because I've had guests on here that do talk about fighting themselves and self-loathing and self-sabotage and self-doubt and all these issues that you talk about, and it is quite insightful that you come up with that and explain that for me. So
Yeah.
moving away from your corporate world and into this health journey that you discovered, which I think you admitted or even specified 50% of your life had passed at this stage, but
Yeah.
being being because I know what it's like in the corporate world and in the design environments or all that sort of stuff. And it can be quite stressful. You can be quite isolating in such a fashion. And like you say, international travel, it's not the bright lights and fashion bells that people promote. It is at lonely nights in the motel rooms and tired sleeping on airport chairs or whatever else.
Yeah.
And being able to get through and the stress and pressure of deadlines and managing boundaries and unrealistic project managers and financial decisions and all these things that are made that impact yourself and I knew in my younger days it was like trying to you you pin like 24-hour shifts or something. I'm a project man. I put the project first and my family second and all the rest of it, and you pin that on your chest. Oh, look at me, I'm a big project man. That's what I do is projects. But moving away from that into health and trying to talk about a holistic approach with people and being successfully being able to provide a holistic life within yourself and maintaining your weight, maintaining your personal goals throughout that corporate life and being able to utilize the skills, like you said, that you are practicing already on yourself and being able to bring that to other people, surely must create some sort of like positive emotion for yourself moving forward and helping your own journey as well.
Yeah, of course. Obviously uh, helping others and see their transformation just by coincidence. Just before our recording, I was between transitions. I was finishing a session, and suddenly I got an emergency call. Someone I coach, and I was expecting that just was a note, and I had to an intervention call. Like I had to help someone, and by the end of the call, the situation was kind of sorted out, and the person on the other side of the line, they said there was a reason why I called you. And I said, why? Because I knew you're the only one that would be able to put the things into a rational perspective that would help managing my emotional stress. Because have in mind one thing that you said something very important. The corporate life and life, not just the corporate life, because you can be a housewife and have a lot of stress. So it doesn't mean that your stress is worse or better. There's no better or worse stress. There's stress. The way we manage
Stress.
stress will define if it's good or bad. But life puts stress on a daily basis in front of you. When you don't sort out your stress, what happens? You accumulate stress and you build up what is called an allostatic load of stress. And that with the times, when you're 20s, is very easy. When you're 30s, things start getting okay. On your 40s, like, and on your 50s, you're already going down. And what happened? What most people call the middle age crisis is a misalignment between the values they have, the life they live. And that's
Yeah.
what people started with rewards, because their imbalance is so high, because it's everything allocated probably at work or on one of the things life, and all the other aspects of life derail, as you said. Time is not infinite. Time
Yeah.
is finite. We all have 24 hours in a day. It's the most democratic thing in the world.
Yeah.
Everybody has the same time. Now, if you put too much time on one thing, what's going to happen? You're going to steal time to all the other things. And what's going to happen? An imbalance. And that imbalance is going to ask your brain to give you rewards, because you're in imbalanced state of mind, and the purpose of the brain is to be in balance, and not in balance, in balance. And for the brain to be like this, if it's like this, the brain's going to ask you for pleasure,
Yeah.
because the brain doesn't know recovery strategy. So the brain is going to ask you, give me screen time, give me food, give me alcohol, give me sex, give me drugs, give me anything that gives you pleasure. And that's why many people derail around the 40s and 50s, because the amount of accumulated stress, of life accumulated stress, that builds up on their back. And that's why things go south on this situation. So when you help people managing and putting in place stress management recovery strategies, and when you start managing stress rather than stress managing you, life is
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. It's great that you put it in them words, because you're talking about um, choosing what you do, or choosing, but you can choose your pain, can't you? The pain of staying the same, or the pain of making change and becoming a better person.
Yeah, because look, the biggest problem we have in life now is that we overbook our day with more activities than the day can handle. So by definition, our day, we'll never be able to do everything we want. So
Yeah.
assuming that basic principle, that means that we need to prioritize
Yeah.
the non-negotiable things that are important for us. If you don't do that, then it's going to be a matter of time until life brings you things, and you start feeling unsatisfied, unhappy. Like, I didn't have time. How many times people come to me and say, I don't have time? And I
Mm.
always say, when you say I don't have time, that means that that thing is not a priority to you. And if you
Mm.
don't prioritize the things that are important and non-negotiable to you, who in the world is going to do that for you? Your mother,
Mhm.
your father, your partner, your life? No, no one. So we have that responsibility. We have the responsibility to say, what's important for me and non-negotiable? What gives me joy and pleasure? Work. And without sleep, I can't work. So sleep comes before work. If I don't eat, I don't have energy. So work is going to be impacted. You're going to see that in the end of the day, if you don't do all these ordinary habits, your performance, sustaining your performance, it's not going to
Yeah.
happen. Not at least in
Yeah.
the long run.
Yeah. No, that's yeah, that's very insightful. Um, and I'm sure, as you mentioned, that we could go on for hours with your enlightening outlook and education on a lot of these issues. And I find it quite fascinating the way you're wording some of these things. I did want to touch on one thing you says about which I find interesting, and the viewers might as well, is when you first started out, people were talking about how you look good for your age and everything, and I just want to reflect on your name, that you're calling yourself Kochi. Perhaps you could share that story with people.
Yeah, well, basically, wait, the fact that I never had an epiphany moment in my life. I've never been a case of, oh, I had an experience, I was overweight and I lost weight, or I had a disease and I overcome the disease. No, no. Since as a kid, I remember the fact that I knew I'm gonna age as a kid. And I always said, oh, like, if I'm gonna age, I want to be the best one aging. Right. So since as a kid, I've been doing sports, I've been eating smart, I've been very careful with the way I by the way, don't get me wrong, I did a lot of parties, I did a lot of funs, I had traveled the world, did my crazy things. I am not saying like, oh, I had uh, uh, the life of a hermit. No, I had a great life, but I always been very careful on the way I'm gonna energize my life, understanding that I need energy. And because of that, I kind of age stronger. I think that's the word I can use, right? And at the point that my when I was to go, I remember I was 30 years old, and they used to ask me my ID to get into the casino because they thought I was below 18. I'm like, huh? I was like, and all this product of being consistent on doing these habits. Now I know everybody's not like me, and I understand that. But the word came because I look younger than what I am. So when I come to everybody and they see me at the gym and I'm a CrossFitter and I work hard and I run and my energy levels are at the same level I was at 20, if not better. And people come and said, "Oh, we want to work out with you," and then we start working out. I said, "Well, how old are you?" So, well, I'm 46. I'm doing 47. And people say, "What?" Like, yeah, I don't believe it. I said, "Yeah." And that's why the name Kochi came, because no one could say Rui, which is my original name. So people say like, "Oh my God, you're like Kochi Kochi." And that's how the name stuck.
Yeah, that's great. No, thank you for joining us today in this
Excellent.
podcast. And it's been such a pleasure, especially your enthusiasm and just talking about some of the philosophies that you had. I really like time and space for everything. That was something I jotted down here, and ordinary habits to create extraordinary lives. I feel that was quite good, and even you rebel against yourself. I think in your self beliefs. I feel that was quite a powerful message as well. But
Thank
uh,
you.
and your holistic approach, I feel that's something. That's why I call myself an entrepreneur. Similar sort of a thing. It's not just focused on business and profits, but relationships and your mental health and your physical health and how it's all tied. I think you mentioned that as well. That everything, all these elements of your life are all tied to help make it.
Connected.
So I feel all connected. Yeah. So I feel like there's so much there. In your coaching style that could benefit people. Are you available for people to reach out on LinkedIn, or are you looking for
Yeah,
clients?
yeah,
Or
of course. They can reach out to me on LinkedIn. My name in LinkedIn is Rui da Silva. You can follow me on Instagram as I.coach with a K. Because of Kochi, so I put the K. I.coach. Yeah, and on Facebook I'm on as a Kochi. And or you can, if you want to explore more, you can visit us on www.balancedrebel.com. And there's a lot of free articles. There's sleep and stress assessments free of charge that you can do to check how you are currently and see what you would like to change. Book a complimentary session with us. Our first session is always complimentary to help individuals to, even if you don't want to follow a program, that's fine. Get a little bit of insights on how to change some aspects of your life, to tweak small things. Small steps leads to big results. And sometimes a simple call can make so much change to people. So there's so much resources that we put free of charge for people, helping people around the world. For those who cannot afford one-on-one sessions, we have a monthly subscription with group sessions. You can also subscribe. There's a lot of things that you can use for yourself to become a better version of you, right? Because we only have this journey.
yeah, and the other thing is we all deserve it. I feel
It's a very good
strongly.
point. We all
Yeah, we
deserve it.
all
I
we all
love it.
deserve it, and not only that, like it's in our best interest to be the best we can be, not only for ourselves but for our family and our loved ones and our children and you know
Can I give you a be-
yeah
before we disconnect? Can I give you a good analogy that I
yeah
always use on
no,
my
no,
coaching sessions?
yeah yeah
When you fly on an airplane,
yeah
and the cabin crew come and they do the simulation, and they say, on the unlikely event of lack of pressure, you
yeah
put the oxygen mask first to yourself, and then you help the others.
yeah
That's what life is about. You cannot
yeah
help the others if you don't have oxygen, also known as energy, which is the currency of life. So it doesn't matter how many good intentions you have if you don't have oxygen for yourself. How are you going to do that?
yeah yeah, and that's a very good point, and that's one I personally use as well. That's a great analogy. So no,
Hmm.
thank you very much for sharing your time
Thanks, Trevor. Thanks for having
sharing
me.
your story. And I'll tag you in some posts anyway, so people can know how to contact you, and they can reach out. So yeah,
Perfect.
have a great day. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.